This meeting is being live streamed. Yahoo! Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It is Feng Shui Friday, Feng Shui with Anita and Cheryl. But what? There's no Anita. And yet we have this absolutely beautiful, phenomenally talented, the one, the only, Linsay Doyle with us. Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Anita, we're missing you, of course.
Of course. Yeah, of course. But she got to have you in the fall when I wasn't available. So yeah, we have to share you. Woohoo! Well, for those of you joining us the first time, welcome. For those of you who are back joining us again, thank you. We appreciate seeing you on a Friday morning. Yay. You know, every week we come on and we wear these fun and funky glasses, and it's kind of entertaining because we get to be kids and dress up. Some of us are a little bit more, vibrant than others, but that's okay. The whole point of us wearing these glasses is so that you start looking at your environment through your feng shui eyes, through your energetic eyes. And when we start doing that, we get a new perspective on things quite often in our surroundings. And oh my, when that happens, it is an awful lot of fun. Isn't it, Linsay?
That is correct.
So as always, our topic of the day comes from the Feng Shui Personal Paradise cards by our friend, mentor, teacher, instructor, woman extraordinaire, Tara Catherine Collins, founder of the Western School of Feng Shui. Woo-hoo. Good morning, Tara, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to shuffle. And while I'm shuffling, I'm going to invite Linsay to speak about the big project she's been working on for the last year and just share with you some of the things that she's had to go through, some dynamics, things like that over the last year. So tell us a little bit about the project you've been working on.
Sure. I just want to say a quick hello to Sharon and Nelia.
Yeah, awesome.
Joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My first commercial project here in Edmonton, I've been working on a fitness, health, and wellness studio. It's roughly like 6,000 square feet. And we've built it from the ground up. So the project was, I think it's been roughly a year since we first started. Mm-hmm. And so it was, it's been a huge learning and just fun opportunity to take what I've learned and really dive into it in terms of layout, and optimization based in placement of rooms, and then going deeper now into the elements and using the yin and yang, just taking all the tools and implementing into this project. It's learning a lot, like I said, and so the doors finally opened last week, and the feedback has been amazing.
Oh, that's exciting.
The staff and clients coming in. So yeah, I'm super proud, and I can't wait to kind of share it with the world and go to my next project, I guess.
Excellent. So what's the name of the facility? Just so if people are in the it's in Edmonton, yes?
Absolutely. So it's 4 Points Health and Wellness, and they offer one-on-one training, group fitness, as well as different modalities, treatments such as chiro, acupuncture, massage. Wow. Yes, they have a shaman healer, psychology. It's a one-shop stop for sure. So.
Oh wow! How special is that?
Mm-hmm.
That is very cool. All right, so we have two cards that came out, and I can only imagine the different dynamics with all the staff and the owners and everybody else coming in. But
that's a big one too that you learn.
yeah. Oh,
working
absolutely.
working with the team for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So good for you. I'm excited to go up. Lindsay's invited us up for the grand opening. So I believe Anita and I'll be there. And hey, maybe we'll do a Facebook Live from there. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And let you share with people. So what's important, well, all of what Lindsay was saying is important, is feng shui can be implemented at any point in time. And that's one of the things I love about your story is literally right from the blueprints, you were helping them decide and optimize your knowledge in feng shui from literally the blueprints up. Now, and now it's the finishing touches and the placements and stuff. But what people don't realize is feng shui can be utilized anywhere and literally anytime. If you're traveling in a hotel room, you can optimize the space with a little bit of feng shui knowledge.
So gotta put on your feng shui glasses.
Exactly. I love it. Okay, so we had two cards come up. The first one is Sound Makers, and it is card number 10. Okay, and the second one is card number 48, Fame and Reputation, which I think the two of them together go really, really well. So let's utilize this gym in this example. What do you say? So obviously you would have worked and done some things in the fame and reputation area. Do you want to share with us what you did?
I sure would. So I implemented, well, the fame and reputation, obviously with the gym, is going to be super important, not just for the owners, but for all of their staff. So I really emphasize in bringing that component of the fame and reputation into each room. And actually their logo is a compass.
Oh, so, cool.
Yes. So I really utilize that compass. So the front entrance, you actually walk in and their logo, first thing you see above the reception desk is their logo. And then I brought that also into the fitness space. And then going more deeper into the treatment rooms, I incorporated a lot of their certificates and education. So those that are going to get treatments,
know that the person working on you
exactly
has been certified, and that's front and center. And that creates such a peace of mind for the people, for the person that's being worked on, so to speak. So if I walked into an acupuncturer's office and didn't see anything about certification and it was a little bit of disarray, I'd be quite uneasy about that. However, walking into an acupuncture space and it's comfortable and it's inviting, and there's so many other aspects, of course, that goes on with that, but I can immediately, when I walk into the space, see that this person has been certified here and certified here and certified there. What a great, great way. And again, so you've taken the bagua from the whole building to each individual space, which is what I love about Essential Feng Shui and the way we use the bagua, because it's a non-directional approach, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So did you incorporate sound makers anywhere?
Well, the gym itself
is going to have a lot of sound. Yes,
it is. So actually that was a big component, because we had to actually create a bit of a barrier, because we did have the fitness, and group fitness, which tends to be on the louder side.
Okay.
And, we had to put a bit of a barrier for the treatment side so that it wasn't as loud. But it's pretty active, and we actually had the shaman come and do a drumming ceremony at the beginning, and she's going to actually be working on the space. So it's going to be, she incorporates like bells to cleanse the drum, and even the music itself holds high vibration.
Absolutely. So, I love how you've taken so many different elements. So when people are talking about, or when we're talking about fame and reputation, how would our family that's watching this, our friends and family and I call everybody family because really, if you're here watching us, obviously you know me well enough to be family. Where would you suggest to them, or how would they know what area the fame and reputation area is in?
So if you're sitting or standing at the main entrance of the room or the home, it's the back center of the room or the space. If you're looking like aerial view, yeah, it's the back middle. It's the fame and reputation. So that lays right between the love and relationship as well as the wealth and prosperity.
Awesome. And so you mentioned a few things that you've enhanced with, which is perfect for the facility that you're working with. So certifications is one of the things that you've enhanced with, and the logo. What about homeowners? What could they do to enhance their fame and reputation? And by fame and reputation, what we're referring to is how the world sees you, or if you want to shift that, how do you want the world to see you? So what would you recommend for everybody that they could utilize to enhance that area?
So besides certificates, so even for myself, you can incorporate shapes, colors, and the fame and reputation is the fire element. So even like textures. So for example, one of the walls that I brought in was actually a brick, and it had the red tone, right? So you can go big or you can kind of go small. So even for example, in my home, the layout of my kitchen is actually lays in the fame and reputation. So you have the stove, which is the fire element. And then I also, in my bedroom, you can have pictures of people or animals that help enhance that area. I also have hanging from my window, because a lot of windows you may find are in the center of the room. I actually have a hanging crystal that's in the shape of a star.
Oh, perfect. And look at you, the star that you are, right? So it's those subliminal messages, and it's always the intention that we put behind anything.
Absolutely.
Our intention is so important.
Yeah.
It's more important, I think, than the actual physical item. So I want to be known for public speaking. So in my office, I have an image of me. Let me just grab it because it's right here. It's handy. My office isn't that big. Right? And it's when I did the presentation for the Sharp Women event last year. So I like to have a lot of fun, in case you hadn't noticed. So this is front and center for me in the fame and reputation area of my office. And it's action, it's that people, it's the movement, right? It's lots of the pinks. So the picture and the photographer that was there, Infinity Brand Photography, she's amazing, and she was there. She's done a lot of my photos that you see on all over the place. She happened to capture that one, of course, and as you see, I do talk with my hands a lot. But it's activity, and I love it.
Keeps us engaged.
Yeah, well, I really am a little bit passionate about things, right? So when I can get talking and in front of people, I thoroughly enjoy myself, whether it's on Zoom or in person. And now that it can be in person, it's like, yay, let's get back at it. So, all right, so we've talked about fame and reputation. Let's talk a little bit about sound makers, and you talked briefly about it in your space. But where would you suggest, if someone's got, say, a wind chime or something that they absolutely love, what would be a great spot for them to utilize it in? If you can give them any recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely. So wind chime for sure. If you have a patio or like your front step, hanging in the wealth prosperity to enhance and bring in some of that chi for prosperity and abundance. What else? Having like sound, even like sound healing. Having a what are they? The bowls.
The bowls, yeah, the crystal bowls or the sound bowls.
Yeah. What else have I used?
Well, I think what you've already said is fantastic.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
point behind the sound maker, right,
Yeah.
is to go, hello, Chi,
Yeah.
right? Come on in. You've seen it. Car dealerships, some stores have those, I call them the floppies, right?
Yes.
And they're not necessarily a sound maker, although they can get quite annoying in sound, but they're calling your attention. And where the eye goes, energy flows.
Correct.
Right. And where energy flows, that's where our intention and attention goes. So that is the point to the sound maker, the same concept. It can also help mute background noises, things like that, that are annoying and, sometimes quite unacceptable. And in your case, you guys did barriers to help block the sound, because I could see where that would be, okay, how do we manage having the tunes cranked for a group class and someone having an acupuncture treatment in the next room? That would be a bit of a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys for handling that in advance of instead of after the fact. And quite often when we're designing things, the after the fact, it's a little bit harder and way more expensive.
Oh yeah.
To create a solution.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
To create a solution. So people that are a friend of mine that has a boutique, and she moved into like a strip mall, and this is quite common. Lots of strip malls everywhere. When I realized that they were renovating, and I was like, seriously, a few hours too late to help her out with, in the walls between, her and her neighbors, because she was sandwiched, you can place mirrors, right, to reflect back the other place's energies, so that you're focusing on your energy and the chi that you want to invite into your space. And it has nothing to do with who's on either side of you, right? But I was too late to get it into the walls. When I thought, I was like, oh, they haven't put the drywall up yet. Yeah, I was a few hours too late. They had put the drywall up, which was too bad. Anyway, she hadn't asked for my help earlier. I just got this insight one day and went, oh, I need to talk to her. But anyway, going back to the sound makers, the one thing I do want to talk about with sound makers, and I love wind chimes and I love the bamboo. These are metal ones in here, but you can see everyone's seen the bamboo ones that are similar.
Yes.
Take into consideration the other people in your home. That's where I ran into a little. I wanted one at our front door because I love the sound and love having the screen door open in the summer. And it drove my spouse crazy, because when he wants to sleep, he wants complete silence. And during the summer, we have the windows open to let the breeze through. And when there's a breeze, they're making sound. So I had to concede his rest is more important than my love of the sound maker. But that is the point to the sound maker. And as a good neighbor, it's something to consider. You can get some big, big, beautiful ones. Consider your neighbors. It's always good to be a good neighbor. Good neighbors send good chi your way. Unhappy neighbors don't send good chi your way. And that chi still hangs around your space. So now you probably noticed the Inspire rings that Linsay and I are both wearing today. These are from our friend Kate, K-Hate, the Hardest in Houston, Texas. Hey, Kate, if you're watching us now or in a replay, we hope that today we've inspired you. But we're not done yet. We're going to still talk about a little bit about numerology, because Anita and I always talk about numerology a bit.
I think we had two cards that equaled the same number, didn't we?
We have the 48, which is a 12, and we have the 10.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a different number, actually.
Yeah, that's okay. So the 12 and the 10, though, together are 22, which is a master number. Anytime you get the same number duplicating itself, it's a master number. So I've got my handy dandy double digitology book by Marilyn Harper and Joy Roby. Amazing ladies, Adironda.com. And I have to pull up the double digit portion, because the 2 I know is an amazing number, of course, and it's about solid foundations. But the 2-2 also takes into account that it's a master number because it's doubling it. So what Adironda has to say about the 22 is this: the 2-2 takes all of that energy of cooperation, of being supported, responsive, and adaptable to their environment, and magnifies it to create what we know as the master builder. Yes, the 2-2 is definitive master builder. They have a strong foundation and are looking forward to the future. So what I love about Adironda, she's always talks about the shape of the numbers. So the solid foundation is the line across the bottom, and it is the only number that has that solid foundation, and then it's shaped to look towards the future. The 2-2 also magnifies the divine partnership with the world, in your love relationships, with your friends, with your enemies, partnering with a project that you are working on. So I think it's very cool and very appropriate, of course, that the 2-2 came up, and we talked about the partnership you had, Linsay, working with this amazing people in Edmonton at the 4 Points Wellness Center.
4 Points Health and Wellness, yes.
Health and Wellness, very cool. Because it does take two, it's a partnership. 2 eyes, 2 sets of eyes, feng shui eyes. But it's also, what I liked about that is that's a 2-2 number. If you're looking for partnership, love and relationship area, and Adironda actually talked about that. We talk about in the love and relationship having pairs, 2 of, equality, right? So 2 of things. Now the 2-2, of course, would break down to a 4. And are you familiar with any numerology at all there, Miss Linsay? Or is this a new study for you too?
It's a new study. I'm getting familiar. Actually, it's funny. The gym is number 110.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it equals 2 in partnership. So I did that for them as well, to get acquainted with the number and the energy of the space.
Nice. Yeah. Well, the 4 is very, and by the way, my favorite number.
Is it 4?
When I read it, you'll understand, those that know me. The 4 is very, very practical, disciplined, requires organization and structure, a statement of frankness, about focus, an energy of acknowledging that power-filled focus that is requiring structure. It's about paying attention to the details, yet guards against getting caught up in the minutia. I love the number 4, and that's that organizing and structure, and I can be a little bit franked. So
Matthew's favorite number is 4 as well.
Oh, attaboy, Matthew. Fist punch. Woohoo! Hopefully you're feeling better.
He also said his stove is in that location. Going back into the comments. Yeah.
Your stove is in the fame and reputation. And the stove is already considered a fire element. So cool. Would you like to add anything else there, Miss Linsay?
I don't think so. This has been a great conversation.
I love
it. You never know what to expect. And so I just, go with the flow. Your energy is always great. And it's been very educational.
It's fun. And you know what? That's our whole perspective. That's what we want. We want to teach people to look through their feng shui eyes. Yeah. So here's a question. And we'll wrap up with this question. Fame and reputation area, now that everybody knows where it is, when you lay the bagua down at the front entrance of your home, your space, not necessarily the entrance you use, but the front entrance. It is going to be typically center on the back side of the house, center space. What would you not want in the fame of reputation? Because I just had this glimpse of piles and piles of clothing and stuff stacked up. What would you not want in this fame and reputation area?
Definitely no clutter. And you want to be mindful of the amount of water, the water element that you have in that area. It's ideal to have all elements balanced.
Mm-hmm. And what Lindsay's talking about is the 5-element theory. That, in a nutshell, is a whole study on of its own. Yes. It's more than a conversation. That's a lifelong study. Yes, excellent. Yes, excellent. Okay. Well, of course, we're over time, but that's all right. We don't say it's a set time. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Lindsay. I just absolutely adore this woman. I did my feng shui training the same time she did, and that's how we got to know each other. Love it. And with Anita, of course, leading the way with her wisdom. Where can people get a hold of you, Lindsay? How can they connect with you?
So you can check out my website at www.reclaimyourspace.ca. I am also on Instagram at Linsay.Doyle and Facebook, Reclaim Your Space.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, now you have another way to connect with someone else in the feng shui family to help you address any concerns that you may have, and maybe a big project that you're building, or who knows. But we're always here to help and advise. And thank you to everybody who came out today and played with us. Take care. Have fun. We'll see you next week.
See you. Thank you.